Through dialogue and interfaith action, this ambitious trilogy of events to mark World Interfaith Harmony Week seeks to address three pressing global challenges: rising levels of prejudice and hate crime, the climate crisis, and the growing need to welcome and support people displaced by conflict and poverty. World Interfaith Harmony Week provides a perfect opportunity to recognise our interconnectedness with all those facing the same challenges elsewhere, and to see our local efforts to address them within the global context, standing in solidarity with all those who seek to create a better world. This event brought people from diverse backgrounds together with expert speakers and those with lived experience of religiously motivated hate crime. Many victims report the fact that others stood by and did nothing as particularly distressing. Often, people do nothing not because they approve of what is happening, but because fear, embarrassment, or uncertainty about how to respond precludes effective action. Through interfaith dialogue, we explored together strategies for challenging hate speech as it's happening, so as to empower each other to stand up to prejudice and support one another in challenging times.
Personally, I have experienced hate speech directly obviously as a result of the way I dress and my religion, and the fact that obviously I'm visibly a Muslim female who wears a face veil. So experiencing it firsthand, I know how frightening it can be, and how much it can affect a person's confidence, a person's self-esteem, how much I then have to kind of adjust my lifestyle according to that.
Community empowerment is the way to overcome a lot of these barriers and divisions, particularly around religion and religious identity, all those myths and stereotypes that people inevitably have. We have to constantly fight and sort of peel off the layers of it to get down to our core essential humanity. These are things we have to do consciously, collectively as people, trying to struggle for a just world together.
Hate speech and hate crime have a huge impact on individuals. They really do. If we start to challenge it, we make people feel included in our society, in our communities. We say we're all human beings, we're all here together. We may be different, but that's a strength, not a weakness. So by taking these steps and actually challenging hate at any juncture, at any point, we say, no, we are people, we're all human, we're all people. We all have a right to be on this planet, and we all have a right to live happily and safely.
What does it mean to be an upstander? I suppose it means that you're willing to take action, and you're actually conscious to that level that you have a responsibility to do something.
I think if one person speaks up, other people feel brave to speak up, and I think if everybody stays silent, then it kind of perpetuates that and allows it to happen. I know, me as a Muslim woman, if somebody came and just sat opposite to me and just started talking to me, I'd feel safer. It would make me feel safer.
As the urgency of the climate crisis becomes increasingly apparent and the scale of impending suffering and loss more widely understood, and as Glasgow prepares to host COP26, the UN Climate Summit in November, we invited people from diverse backgrounds to come together for dialogue on some key aspects of the challenge we face and to explore what an effective interfaith response might look like. I think faith communities have particular resources that they can bring to bear when it comes to the climate crisis, and that's for a number of reasons. First, religious narratives can articulate compellingly why we should care about the climate crisis, whether that's put in terms of the wonder of God's creation and our stewardship over it, or our interconnectedness with all of nature, or simply in terms of the demands of compassion. Religious traditions do a good job of that. And I think second, they also do a good job of articulating the root causes of the problem, because science can tell us what's going wrong, but in a way not why it's going wrong. Buddhists, for example, speak of greed, hatred and delusion as the three poisons that are kind of the root cause of all our troubles, really. And religious traditions not only offer us that analysis of what's going wrong, but offer us the possibility of transforming ourselves so that we can live in wiser and more compassionate ways with respect to the environment.
I think faith groups and interfaith groups is such an important community within Glasgow, within Scotland. climate change is something that affects us all and will affect us all. And especially with COP26 coming to Glasgow, I think this is the opportunity for people to build bridges and have conversations across kind of maybe traditional divides. And I think without coming together and bringing diversity and inclusivity into the centre of the climate movement, we're not going to be able to exact the change that we need to be honest.
I think the issue is so big that we can't tackle it individually or even as individual faith communities. It's a global issue. I think all of us have got to come together to take action.
I think it's really important that people from different diverse communities and faith groups come together to tackle climate change or even be involved in the conversations around climate change, because around the world faith groups make a huge population of the world.
Well, the crisis does push us together. We share a planet, we share everything we share everything that's being affected by the crisis. There isn't anywhere else to go.
I think also religious traditions have particular spiritual and pastoral resources to bring to bear when it comes to the despair, anxiety and grief many people feel with respect to the climate crisis. And also at a very practical level, religious traditions can motivate and mobilise large social networks so that whatever action is taken, that action is amplified. Glasgow is home to more asylum seekers than any other city in the UK. Many newcomers arrive here without much English, little or no money, and suffering the effects of trauma. As a result, many experience severe social isolation.
Today's event is really special. It's slightly bigger. We work in cooperation with a local faith community to deliver a really fun event as part of World Interfaith Harmony Week, and we've got lots of projects from the southeast of Glasgow showcasing their work and the support that they offer to refugees, and we're hoping that everybody will just have a lovely time today. This is a really good way for refugees and people from the local community to meet in an informal, fun way, and also to have contact with people from other faith communities. So really in terms of integration, it's a sort of a two-way process where local communities are engaging with refugees and vice versa. This is a wonderful way to do it across a shared meal and lots of fun and families coming together.
It's good for new people coming in, because even me, I'm new here. And I found it so interesting. It's for new people, asylum, even refugee. Because sometimes when we see ourselves as an asylum seeker, and when we come here, I see so many people feeling so isolated, feeling uncomfortable, depression. So I think this kind of event is very good for them. Because if they come here, they will know, yes, life is fun. You can do it.
It's great for us as a Baptist church to have an interfaith event here, because as a Christian church, we believe that God values everybody, and we like to see that put into action.
It brings everyone together, a better understanding of what other people are going through, and it gives you just a chance to help them, really.
If you just stay home, you can feel quite lonely and you could feel quite isolated. So if you come here, you can at least enjoy yourself with other people and have fun.
We are meeting new friends and new people and new activities. It is very lovely to see different communities all together, different cultures, different religions.
I mean, one place where everyone is together, everyone is equal, and they respect everyone. So I love Glasgow.